Welcome to another episode of WeakLEE Podcast. My guest with me tonight is Mimi. She was a wellness coach out here in New Orleans. So tell the people a little about yourself.
Okay, I'm Mimi. I am a wellness coach, but I am a mom first of four. I'm a sister. I'm an auntie. I'm some people's best friends. I'm some people's soulmates. Some people twin flames. I am a direct expression of God. Yeah.
How many brothers and sisters you have?
5. I have 5.
You the oldest or the youngest? Or the
I
middle
am the
child?
youngest. I am the baby of the group.
How that was? Like growing up being the baby.
Okay, so I wasn't seen as the baby because I had 2 parents that were drug addicts. So I wasn't raised by either of my parents. My mom didn't have any of her kids. So the ones who had dads, we were raised by our dad's people. So like 2 of my siblings, one of my oldest sisters and brothers was raised by their aunt. And then one of my oldest brothers was adopted. And me and my sister was raised by my dad's siblings, which they had like 12 sisters and brothers. But 2 of the aunts agreed to raise me and my sister. One was legally blind, and one was like a very hardworking housekeeper for Hotel Monteleone. It's like a well-known hotel that's been open for probably longer than both our ages put together. So I wasn't really seen as the youngest. I don't feel like I was seen as at all during my childhood. My aunt who raised me, who could see and who worked hard, she had grandkids. So we was kind of like the children that was being raised by somebody, grandma. My other aunt, who I identify as one of my moms, she was legally blind. So I was kind of her eyes. I knew how to read early. I knew how to write checks early. I knew how to pay bills early. I knew how to make groceries early. I knew how to catch the bus from uptown to downtown, wherever we needed to go. Like, I was a grown up almost like my whole life, just having responsibilities of being her eyes. But I did have an older sister who kind of like stayed connected with me and my sister. So I did know my sister. My brother died when I was about like 9 years old. It was actually one of the first times I seen my mom in person. I think like when your child died, they let you come to the funeral. So my mom was incarcerated at my brother's funeral. He flew out a windshield in the east. That's crazy. I'm here. I'm actually off the exit where he died. And he had a closed casket. So I was around him a little bit growing up, but not that much. So that means I grew up not knowing any of my mama family outside of my siblings.
Did you start developing a relationship with them like as you got older?
Well, my older sister always kept up, so she would randomly come get me and my sister on weekends. I actually met my brother who was adopted at my mama's funeral about like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a distant relationship because he don't stay here.
Right.
But it was kind of weird meeting somebody who looked like my twin. So all my mama children have this face.
So, what religion do you practice?
All of them. None of them holy, because I found God in all of them.
What do you mean exactly?
I was raised Baptist and Catholic, but like I said, I didn't have a lot of focused attention growing up, so I didn't have like an adult that consistently took me to church on Sundays, but I was reminded that God is the all-knowing, God is love. I was reminded of certain prayers that I felt kept me protected. But as I grew up, I started looking more into being Baptist because one of my mentors in school wound up being my pastor. So he used to bring us out to eat if we came to church. So I had the whole school. I was like, y'all go to church? He gonna bring us out to eat. So I built a personal relationship with my pastor, which led me to ask more questions about God. Like, well, what is God? Who is God? And I felt it was a lot of shaky answers. So I kind of like took my hair out, took my nails off. I took all my clothes off. I was like, God, I need you to show up for me. Like, who are you? Where are you? I feel like I had a tough upbringing. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like life is constantly getting hard. So I no longer want nobody to tell me who you are. I ask that you show yourself, you reveal yourself. I need you in my life. And it came in every form, in every religion. So I learned that God lies behind a lot of deities. God is Jesus. God is Muhammad. God
Mm-hmm.
is Elijah. God reflects itself in a way that the person could understand it. Some people need Jesus. Some people need Buddha. Some people need Elijah. Like, God is the all knowing. So whichever level that you could receive God, God would express itself in that way.
Right. And it's interesting that you say he is who you think he is, because at the end of the day, my mom actually called me earlier today, and she was like, "It's not about who you think you are to people; it's about who people think you are to them." Just like as God. So if you think that who God is to you, He's possibly the same person to me as well. Even though we may not feel the same way, but He still will be that person. And it's like it could be the same, or it could also not be the same.
Because
But
God
it's
would
all
never,
about who you have your relationship with Him,
yeah.
and that's gonna be who it is for you.
And we say him, but I feel like the God that I serve is beyond gender, beyond race,
Mm-hmm.
beyond circumstances. God says, sit still and know that I am God. And when you sit still, I learned that in yoga practices, it dissolves the ego construct.
Mm-hmm.
It dissolves the idea of God being a thing. Because, like I said, God created the idea to make this mic. God is in the clothes. God is the emptiness that fills this space. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is anything without God being a part of it?
Nothing.
Yeah.
God is
So
everything.
it's like if I put a deity to God and say, God, you are this person, like God is omnipotent, God is all things and no things. So if I say it's this instant, I'm taking away everything else that it could be.
Hmm.
Yeah. If I say it's this name, that is very small to the God that I serve, because it's like, imagine, like, God could have whatever color hair it want, whatever skin texture. We see animals and we see bugs, and we're like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
that? Like,
Like.
God is creative. Like,
Mm.
God is limitless. Like, God is literally infinite possibilities.
So what is yoga?
My God is the all knowing, the all serving. When I sit still and get in the presence of God, God is everything and no thing. Like, I don't define it by a deity or by a name or by a place. God said, I will not dwell in places that is built with hands. So God is the intangible things. For me, God is love. God is compassion. God is empathy. Like, God could also be rage. Like, I always tell people nothing is ever never happening to you but for you always, because it is always God's grace in disguise. So God is every situation, even if we defined it as overwhelming or as bad. God is omnipotent, so it's both sides of the coin. I could go to God and complain, but sometimes we pray for things and God give us and put us through certain circumstances to build a character to become who we need to become, to hold on to what we ask for.
Mm-hmm.
So God is even the chaos, and chaos I find order. So God is chaos and order. God is hot and cold. God is wet and dry. Like, when you ask what is God, I could ask you, like, what is not God?
Mm-hmm. Because everything ties up into
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
But that's why there's good and bad in the world.
Yeah. It's really no bad. It's like we have to learn that,
Obstacle.
yeah, your idea of someone is not their responsibility. Some
Mm-hmm.
people come to play the role to put you under certain circumstances for you to evolve. Like I said, it's never happening to you, but for you always. So it's not bad. But when you have some scars, which is false perception and a victim mentality, you are claiming these things as bad when they are literally obstacles that are building you up for who you needed to become. And everything you go through is helping you understand or understand God in that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, can you love that person even if they are not stimulating you? Like, can you love that person without looking for something in return?
A lot of people can't.
Yeah, because it's is we get so caught up in childhood traumas thinking that it is happening to us when it's happening for us always. I just told you I was raised by somebody who was legally blind.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew how to read early, I knew how to write early, I knew how to make groceries, I knew how to get around. But my parents also died when I was in 10th grade, and I had a baby in 10th grade and 11th grade. I had my first house at 16 years old. But I already knew how to pay bills. I already knew how to read. Already knew how to make a little money to make a lot of groceries. So it was also like my spirit guides. It was God preparing me for the life that I already was going to meet.
Mm-hmm. So is that what prepared you for the practice in yoga?
Yeah, God put you in situations for you to seek it. Like, I need you to seek me.
Mm-hmm.
And you seek God through troubled times, even though it shouldn't be that way. So I've learned to praise God even through hard times, even through good times, because it's like I need you and I need to honor you through it all.
Right.
But yeah, that's what helped me.
Because that's when you get some, or you go towards him more, when you
Mhm.
go through more things.
Yeah, so it's like God. Like, I was raised by God. I told you I also had two parents who were on drugs, and I used to complain like, God, if you real, why would you not give me a mama and daddy? Why would you allow me to be abandoned? And God said, I allowed you to be abandoned because I needed you to stay who I sent you to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to have a victim mentality and say, oh, my mama was on drugs looking for sympathy instead of receiving empathy. And God sat me down like, would you have really wanted to be raised by them people? Would you really have wanted to be manipulative? Would have wanted to be a thief? Would you have wanted to be in an environment where you could have been molested? Like, I have protected you and I have always been here for you.
Hmm.
And when I brought my awareness to like how much God have been here for me the whole time, like, it ain't really bothered me like I thought it did. Most things that I defined as troubled and was telling the stories, it literally rolled off like water. It's nothing that happened to me that stopped me from loving people, giving people, showing up for people, defining this tax bracket, what they had for the love that I had to offer.
And all that comes just from you finding God.
Yeah. Because it's
So,
like, even if they don't have me, God have me. And if
mm-hmm.
I do somebody, what they do me, I become them.
Right.
So if I call you a fuck nigga for lying and then I lie to you back, I become that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, who am I to judge you? And Psalms 1 is one of my favorite scriptures. It say you like, don't sit in the seat with the scornful, for they are not worthy of your company. So it made me be more mindful of who I kept in my company. And if I was gonna be picky of who I kept in my company, I also had to make sure that I was clean and that I was pure.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, if you are not pure, you don't have the right to judge.
And that's a lot of people.
Yeah, because like, that's why it's like, who he was like, cast the first stone. That was really parables. It's like, okay, if she a hoe, what you are?
Right.
Like, if you never did nothing, hit a rock and nobody was able to throw the rock, but it went over people's head. They're like, oh, he cuffed the hoe. Or he spared somebody, but no one was able to throw a rock because no sin is greater than the other. So it made me walk on a straight and narrow path. It's like, if I'm always gonna hold people accountable, I gotta first hold myself accountable to be able to tell them something without them to be able to use my darkness to justify what they're doing.
And people be trying to make your darkness be who you are, but it's really not who you are.
It's not. It's just impulsive actions, and sometimes we move impulsive to get an emotion, which is energy and emotion that don't really serve us in that time. And you don't really need, like, when they say God is on the tablets of your heart, it's like, if you lie, I have a 1-year-old, he'll come and look around before he steals something. Like, when you do something, you feel convicted when it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
That's without a practice, because God is within you. Like, you gonna feel convicted if you don't do something. But people, which is free will, you could choose to do it anyway, and that's why you create your karma. karma is not only bad, it is good. Like whatever you put out, you get in.
And people think that everything
Like you literally get away with nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Reap what you sow.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can't handle when it comes back to them.
Mm-hmm. That's where victim mentality come from. So that's why I started getting more in yoga and more deeper with God, because it's like I don't want to be a victim to my mentality. And I learned that like they have people are aging, but we are not getting elders. Like they have old people who are not turning into elders. We are raised from a conditioning background with generational curses. So nobody could tell nobody they wrong because they are shadowing people who have no morals or no values. And that's also a form of yoga. Truthfulness, not taking more than what you need, discipline, not stealing. So they have like 2 limbs of yoga, which is literally like the 10 commandments.
Explain
so yoga is morals, values.
That's pretty interesting though, because like I only think yoga was just poses.
So yoga
and meditation.
Yoga is a lifestyle. People call it a practice. The yoga poses is called asanas. So before it was focused on asanas, it really was about meditation and breath work. So yoga is to prepare the body for prayer. So when you go straight into prayer, God say lean into my understanding, not your own. But if you just jumping into something, your ego could be in the way. So you judging, your mind is cloudy from your daily activities and stuff like that. So the whole thing of the yoga postures is called asanas, is to bring your awareness to your body. Meditation is to bring your awareness to your mind. Breath work is to bring your awareness to your soul. And we go back to Psalms 1. It say meditate day and night and you gonna know that I am God. So meditation is literally just a form of prayer, of self-study. Like, how do I feel? What am I thinking? People are like, I don't know how to meditate. So they're trying to stop their thoughts when it's about bringing your awareness to your thoughts. Like, as long as you're alive, you're gonna think. You thinking while we talking. Right. You know, so it's not about stop thinking, it's about bringing your awareness to how you thinking, what you thinking about. How do you shift your perception? Like every thought you thought today was the thought you thought yesterday. So people long for change, and that's why it's kind of hard to break habits. So you hear like 30-day challenges because it takes consistency and pure intentions to change. Right. So like negative thoughts gonna come. So how do I get rid of them? And through yoga and through meditation, they bring your awareness to the thoughts you thinking, and you're like, damn, I really be thinking about some stupid shit. Right. So you can simply tell yourself next. If you're thinking about something and it's not serving you, and you say next, the next thought gonna come. And if that thought is not serving you, you say next, and the next thought gonna come. And prayer is what changes the vibrations of thoughts.
So do you feel a lot of what you think becomes the outcome of everything?
Yeah, what you think you create. Also, what you feel, you attract. Yeah, the power
what you
of the
fear
mind.
Is what you attract?
Yeah, what you feel is what you attract. Also, what you love is what you attract. If you bring your awareness to who you are and the frequency you on, that's why it's like people be like, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Because if you on that vibration, they resonate with you. They are a reflection of you. It could be something you don't like about your friend. It's just something that you're not being accountable for within yourself, and they're expressing it in a way to bring your awareness to that. Because usually when you attract people and they're not on your frequency, they don't hang around long. They're like, she always talk about God. She always, you know, every time I pull out something, she talking about the ingredients in it. I probably like my candle. She telling me the toxins in my candle. I'm about to go because I like Bath and Body Works candles. Right. Yeah.
But how has the people around you strengthened you?
It humbled me because like I said, I've learned that my idea of people is not their responsibility. So just being humble and expecting God to meet me where I'm at, I've learned to meet people where they at. Right. So they strengthen me because they show me my strengths and my weaknesses. I be around people who are more business mindset. And I'm like, man, I'm childish. I got to
Right.
manage my money. I need to get a calendar like them. I need to sit still. I am a very impulsive talker. So if I come around somebody grounded like you letting me talk, cut you off and talk, it's like, I need to slow down my conversation. So I'm just fully aware that people are direct expressions of God. And I see God in everybody. And I see like my strengths and weakness through the people who I come across.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe in coincidences, because coincidence means to coincide with intentions. Coincidence means to coincide without knowing that you did.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that everything is divine alignment. I meet nobody by random. It's like you came across me for a reason.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's my thing though. I like, especially like interesting conversations. I would like to hear people talk because it's like it had me see or had me get a different outlook of my outside of my box.
Mm-hmm.
So everything you're saying is like things that I've heard before, but it's like it's coming in a different way. Possibly too.
Yeah, the wisdom don't come until you're ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like sometimes it's like I want money, and then you get money or you are blessed with abundance, and then
You don't know what
you
to do
are
with it.
people pleaser. So you are sharing the blessings with people who are in a season to not receive,
Mm-hmm.
and now you messing up their karmic flow because you giving them something that belongs to you. So God, like, no, I got to take that from you because you giving them that when I gave it to you for you. So until you learn how to properly manage money and stop being a people pleaser, you may not receive that because God know your heart is like, if I give it to him, he gonna share it with everybody. Like,
right. So he ain't gonna give it to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Experience, like a position is like, just because you want it don't mean you can handle it. So like I
Right.
said earlier, not only do you pray for things, but you pray to have the skills to hold on to them. Because I could give it to you and you could fumble the ball because you wasn't ready for it. So I'd rather give it to you when you are prepared.
That's why be careful what you pray for.
Let's not waste no time. Like,
Right.
I'm going to give it to you when you can hold it. So it give you all these experiences where you thinking like, man, I ain't getting nothing. And the whole time you going through everything to prepare you to keep it.
So when you get it, you know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I do sound therapy and I focus on 7 chakras, which is from the base of the spine and the crown of the head. And most of the time when you see deities, they have like a glow around their head, which is like a halo, which symbolizes the crown chakra, which is ultimate wisdom. It is wisdom beyond words. It is what it is. So the first chakra is the root chakra. The second one is the solar plexus, the sacral, and then the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. It's like if you feel grounded, you feel as though you don't have the will to do nothing. If you don't have the will to, you feel as though you don't have a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, you feel as though you don't have the will to do something. So if you are all over the place and you don't feel as though you have the will to do something because you don't know your purpose, it makes the heart chakra become blocked because you're like, why I'm here? And this don't feel good. Life is complicated. And when the heart block, you don't know how to give or you don't know how to receive love. And when the heart chakra become blocked, it blocks the throat chakra because you feel unloved. You don't know how to speak. You could over talk or you could not express yourself when you need to. So it could be you not hearing someone out or you allowing people to hear how you truly feel. And if the throat chakra block, it blocks the third eye. And that's why you see things for what it is and not what you want them to be. And if you can't see things for what they are and what you want them to be, you can't tap into the crown chakra, which is ultimate wisdom, ultimate truth. It's like you're not even ready for this wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why people need to be careful what they ask for.
Yeah.
That's a shot. That's a shot at me, but I don't walk away.
I just have pure intention. So when you do receive it, you are not doing it out of ego. Like you don't want it
ego.
just, you know.
It's really coming from the heart, and that's really what you want.
And just being mindful, like it's a real spiritual warfare.
Mm.
Comparison is the thief of all joy. So sometimes we want things because other people make it like they're sustaining things because of that when it's just them asking.
Right.
Yeah. That's why a spirit of discernment is important. So you ain't falling in love with the idea of something just because it looks good.
Right. But that's that whole image thing.
Yeah, even opportunities be masking. Like, you ever jumped into something because you thought that was the bag, and you be like, man, I
shouldn't have
ain't
done that. Right, for real.
Yes.
But that's why, like, your mistakes make you valuable, though.
You really do. First it hurt you, then it heal you. That's why I kind of like tell people, like, fuck how you feel and how you... Like, it's really like, fuck how you feel and how you healing. Like, how are you showing up for yourself? A lot of us manifest loyalty, or we speak on how people are not loyal, but your body show up for you every day. Like, your ears are listening without you telling them to listen. Your eyes are blinking without you telling it to blink. Your stomach do this movement called peristalsis, so it moves the food through the digestive system without you telling it. Like, your body is more loyal to you than anything. And like, what are you doing to honor your body? And you want loyalty from other people when you are not being loyal to yourself.
Right.
So like, I tell people, like, stop wanting things, but show gratitude for what you have. You have your mama in the door. I'm pretty sure she cooked some fire ass food before you finish. You like, I want some more macaroni. And she like, boy, finish that food what's on that plate. And you like, I want more. And your mama telling you to finish the food that's on your plate, because after you eat it, you'll realize that you don't even need more. So like, we ask for more without showing gratitude for stuff, but God give you a full plate of food and you not even eating what you have right now, and you asking for more. I can't put no more on your plate until you show gratitude for your eyesight, until you show gratitude. You know how you ever had a cold and you only could breathe out your mouth? You be like, I can't wait till I can breathe out my nose again. Like, you got to show gratitude for breath. You got to show gratitude for the sunlight. Like, the trees outside turn the carbon dioxide into fresh air for us to breathe in. Like, the things, like, it's all about perception. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Say that one more time.
When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So it's really not even about asking. It's about showing gratitude for every which way God's showing up for you already. Because you're not going to get more until you eat some of that food off your plate.
Right. You got to be grateful for what you get.
Yep. So gratitude is the attitude. Like, when you show gratitude for everything, like when I lay in the bed, I scoot deeper. Like, God, thank you for this bed. Like, thank you. When I drink water, I'll be like, oh, thank you for creating water. This is one of the best things. Like, I love water so much. Right. And it's like, I receive because I eat the food off my plate that I already have. We be so caught up for asking for more when we have like a lot of stuff. We also like, he got cameras, you got lights, you doing this podcast. This was once a prayer that you living in right now. But sometimes we get so caught up in receiving it, and then we ask for more and forgetting like the things that we have now is something we once prayed for.
So, with that being said, if you had a universal message for somebody watching the podcast, or the people who's going to look at this podcast, what would that message be?
The message would be,
look at that camera right there.
Everything that you are going through is the direct makeup of your karma. Nothing is happening to you but for you always. It is always God's grace in disguise. Some people come to play the role of the wicked, but imagine if that soul didn't agree to do that to you. So sometimes you got to love the people who hurt you even more than the people who love you. So yeah, show up for yourself. Let love be the language always. Move without judgment. It's basically just like love people as you want God to love you. That's the message. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you. And I'm gonna have the information to book with Mimi for anything you need. She do everything.
I do everything. Don't ask me what I do. Ask me what I don't do.
And this is another episode of the WeakLEE Podcast. Remain open, honest, vulnerable, and tune in next week. And this is the WeakLEE Podcast. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tune in next week.